Good evening, everyone. oiKkaRma here, and welcome to Philosophical Friday number 2. This is the second Philosophical Friday. It is a weekly. Every Friday, I pick a different topic about something that I find interesting and philosophical in a way, and I share it with you guys, and I talk about it, and I try and see if perhaps maybe I can help you guys learn something, maybe you guys can help me learn something in the process, and it's just something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I've done one episode of it thus far, and I am planning on doing more, so this is number 2 for you guys. And today, what I'm going to be talking about, well, tonight is what I should say, because I'm doing this at 9:30 at night on a Friday. And that's not very good, considering it's my second Philosophical Friday. I shouldn't be forgetting to do it. The only really excuse I have for that is Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, that's all I got. So, enjoy this one, though. I will be uploading it tonight on Friday night, so you'll probably be seeing it on the Saturday. I do apologize for that. I'm not very good at these weekly things, obviously. I kind of just upload whenever I feel like it, and I'm apparently not very good at sticking to a schedule, but I will improve on that. So, what you are seeing right now, this gameplay is from Black Ops 2, obviously Search and Destroy. I joined the lobby when my team was losing 0-3, and as you're going to see, I make a huge comeback, and I actually end up winning the game for my team. So I get an awesome score, and it's just an overall enjoyable gameplay to watch, so I thought you guys would enjoy it. It is in theater mode, which is why you might see a few little glitchy things happen, because honestly, I was just playing Surge, and I did not expect it to be doing anything magnificent, but I figured this is actually a pretty good gameplay to watch. So, today though, what am I going to be talking about? Well, I have a topic. If you've probably read the title, you know what the video is about, but I'm going to say it anyway. This video is going to be about answering the question of, can a rock think? Now, it may seem like a silly question at first, but I find it to be a very serious and important one. Common belief, seems to dictate that only animals can think, and more specifically, only something that has a brain can think. It seems to be that the general consensus is that a brain means that you can think. So can a rock think? Well, in order to answer such a question, I think we need to lay down a few parameters. I think, get it? A few parameters, not parameters. We'll lay down the parameters later, but for now, a few parameters need to be first laid down. So, let's start off, can a rock think? Let's start off with what a rock is. Now, a rock is something that we find in just about every place on Earth. They're common and very non-human, actually, at first glance, anyways. Upon further inspection, though, you realize that rocks are actually more similar to humans than you might think. Both humans and rocks come from the same planet, which is Earth, obviously. Of course, rocks are in other places of the universe, and maybe humans are too, but we know that we know for a fact that they both come from the same planet. That's something they have in common. They both have needs in order to exist and not fade away. We have food and shelter and whatnot. A rock has needs such as not being worn down by the weather, perhaps. And, finally, both are made up of particles and atoms and electrons, etc. We're all made up of the same stuff at the end of the day. When you get right down to the very, very tiny things, you're going to realize that the same atoms that make up a rock are the same atoms that make up me. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, there are also things they have in common, but those are just a few to sort of rationalize it, that a rock is actually something similar to humans in that respect, that we're all made of the same things when it comes right down to the very, very tiny things. Okay. One fundamental difference, however, is that a human is alive, whereas a rock is not. But is this true? The definition of being alive is to live or exist, and it's here where the connection can be made, because both humans and rocks, maybe you can't say that rocks live, okay? I think they do, but I'm not going to go into detail trying to defend that. What I think that we all can agree on is that humans and rocks both exist, okay? And since existing is synonymous with living in the definition of the word alive, we can deduce that the rock is in fact alive, because a rock exists with other living things in an environment of other living things. Everything's existing together, therefore the rock exists, therefore the rock is alive. So you might be thinking, though, so what? Okay, sure, a rock is alive. It doesn't breathe, though. It doesn't have any bodily functions. It's just a bunch of atoms clumped together. So who cares if, you're telling me it's alive? Okay, so what? The information is sort of useless unless you go somewhere with it. So let's go somewhere with it, then. So even if we all agree that a rock is alive, that doesn't necessarily mean that it can think. What it instead means is it's part of a massive network in the system, and we call the system in this network the universe. And thinking, I'm going to define the word thinking. The word thinking means being able to produce a thought. And what exactly is a thought? Well, I can think of a baseball, I can think of a tree, I can think of the taste of bread, and the probability of a die landing on 7. Furthermore, I can think of a flying giraffe, a talking pickle, and being able to write an entire orchestral piece in 10 seconds or less, none of which have been recorded to ever exist. You know, the die and the bread have, obviously, but the other things, the flying giraffe, the talking pickle, they haven't been recorded to ever exist. Yet, I can imagine them. I can produce the thought of these things. So, you know, these thoughts have to come from somewhere, right? And my brain formulated those thoughts through a combination of electrical impulses all flicking on and off in just the right way to produce those thoughts, right? Okay, so what is it to say that something else in the universe can't think? You know, what is it to say that only a brain can think? And furthermore, what is it to say that the universe itself can't think? What's really interesting is there's a picture, and I'll link you guys to it, is an image showing the connection between the human brain cell and the structure of the universe. I suggest you pause the video and go down to the description or click the annotation on screen and click that link and check out the picture. It's really awesome. What is really amazing about them is that they are strikingly similar, and I doubt it to be coincidental. The universe is brilliantly massive, and there are billions of galaxies, stars, planets, and rocks spread throughout. Furthermore, everything in the universe is connected and linked in one way or another. Just look at the 6 degrees of separation, for example, you know. So, such a complex system has to have come from something magnificent that could be capable of such an astonishing feat of creating literally everything. But there is something even simpler, even more basic, even more fundamental to be noted. Before rocks, humans, the universe, or anything else ever existed, one thing must have come first, and that thing is a thought. The thought of having a universe had to be present and had to exist before that universe could be present at all, and before that universe could exist at all. The thought of it had to exist first. In this sense, the universe would not only be filled with the product. In this sense, the universe would not only be filled with and the product of, but be a thought. Simplified, since we can imagine the universe in our minds, it exists as a thought, and there is no contradiction in existence disagreeing with that either. My point is that everything in its most basic form is a thought, and therefore must have the ability to think, because it is part of a network of thoughts and of things that are constantly thinking up the thoughts. So, you know, a rock can think. I'm like to back that up. I'm going to say a rock can think, because it is little more than a thought. It's just a bunch of atoms collected together because the thought of a rock existed beforehand and still exists now, and that rock is a thought, and that thought itself has to have something think it. What's thinking of that? You know, even if there's no human around to think it, I think the rock itself has to think of itself. You know, the rock in its very existence has to think of the thought of the rock existing. And I know it might just sound like I'm saying that just to confuse you and, you know, make me sound stupid, but really, if you break it down, I think it kind of makes sense. You know, a rock can think. It's little more than a thought, and it exists with other materialized things around it, and even when its physical form is completely destroyed or rearranged, because actually you can't destroy atoms, or you can't destroy particles, sorry, or matter, I should say, the thought of a rock will never die, even if there's nothing there to think it. So, can a rock think? Yeah. Yes, it can. And you can quote me on that. I'm going to tell you right now, can a rock think? Absolutely a rock can think, yes. And I will back that up and I will defend it. If anyone were to come up to me and say, you know, Austin, can a rock think? I'm going to say, you know what? Of course it can think. Why wouldn't it be able to, right? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You probably won't let me know what you think because you usually don't like to type in those comments. The comment section below, you don't like to share your thoughts and opinions and feelings down there. You might have some shy subscribers. Or maybe you just are thinking that I'm crazy and that I'm just a lunatic, and maybe you're already hovering over that unsubscribe button. But I do truly and honestly hope you enjoyed this video. It's something that I'm going to be doing often. And thank you for watching. If you liked the video, press the like button. If you dislike the video, press the dislike button. My name is oiKkaRma. Thank you so much for watching. Look at that score. It's beautiful. Stay classy, everyone.